Hey guys, so I am a little like, I don't know, I keep recording the video and I'm like, I don't like it. Then I record again. I don't like it. So it's been, of course, 7 day, a while, since I, probably like 3 days, I think, since it was a time was had, okay? Today is the 27th, right? It's Friday the 27th of October. Um, on the 24th, whatever day that was, I did finish my hair. That's the second clip that you guys saw. The first clip you guys saw, I do not know what day that was, but I always put the date on there so it'll be on there when you guys are looking at it. So I'm 5 months in, right? And at this point, I am 5 months, and tomorrow will be 2 weeks. So I'm just shy of 5.5 months, right? And I did record a 3 month lockup date, which would have been the next video you guys saw, right? Because the braids took me into about 2.5 months, and I'm thankful for the braids. Okay. I did think that having them would have gotten me to a place where I wouldn't have had to cut my nape, which you guys saw. I did cut my nape. That was 28 locks altogether back there, 2 rows. Imagine how small they were. It was like, I think it was like, I'm trying to think, 12 one row, I think, which went 16 on the other row. So, yeah. Yeah, small. Uh, which is why I have the amount of locks I have. I have 408 now. I did mention in the beginning of the video that I was going to tell you guys about why I had redid some of them. So let me take you guys through after the last video that you guys see where I'm washing my hair. After I washed my hair, I was in a really good place with my hair. I felt like in a really positive place. I was happy to see my hair. I was feeling it, okay? Most definitely I was feeling it, right? So then my 3rd month was fine. The first part of my 4th month was a little hard. Um, I didn't have a lot of issues in my 3rd month. My 3rd month, I felt like, okay, I did my braids. It was a good reasoning behind it. I don't have the issues that I thought I was going to have because of how I will say this. When I first did my braids, I should have started it on newly retied hair, but I did not. And because I did not, when I was retying my hair before taking them out, there was a gap in where the hair had not been retied, right? So you could feel it. So I did this last retie go in and correct some of that. But yeah, that was the one thing I noticed in the 3rd month. But for the most part, I was really happy about it. I wasn't really having any issues in the back of my nape. Slight, but I was like, okay, that's normal. But it wasn't really bad. But then in the 4th month, it just was a lot. It was like too much slippage, unraveling, all of that stuff. And I just got to a point where I was like, you know what? Eventually, I'm going to do it anyway. I might as well go ahead and do it now. Where I just cut the bottom row. So I was going to cut just the bottom row, but I was like, that'd be weird. So I said, you know what? Let's just cut the bottom row and the next row up, and then I'll see if that's enough hair where I don't have to cut any more, or if I need to cut more, depending on how I feel. So I was like, okay, 2 rows is completely enough. I don't have to cut any more hair in the back, because the second row was a little problematic for me as well. It wasn't as bad as the first row that still was slipping, but it was still problematic. And so I said, you know what, okay. So that's the one that I've noticed that my hair is doing. It'll be fine. One moment in one wash, it's complete fine. It's holding up great. And then I'll wash it again the next week. And then all of a sudden it decided to want to slip. And I don't know why it's doing that. I'm gotta figure out if it's how I'm washing my hair. I do know that I need to go back to when I wash my hair to not braid and band it, but twist and band it. Which is real simple. Do I have anything where I can? I don't think I have like a rubber band or anything. So basically, take some of the hair, right? The bigger piece in this. Twist the hair, right? In a two-strand twist. right? Take the end, wrap the end, bend the end down, take the rubber band and rubber band this part so the end is curled in like that, right? And that's how I wash my hair. That gives me a place where I have enough loose, um, it's loose enough at the root of the two strand twist that's there that I can get into that good. So I'm probably gonna have to keep maintaining doing that. That'll probably help a lot. Um, it'll also help with like stretching my hair out and stuff. So also I should say just real quick, um, the difference between that second clip and this clip right here, I wet my hair. I didn't wash my hair or anything like that. I wet my hair because my hair was just, y'all saw how it looked. It still is kind of doing its own thing for the most part, but I had to, yeah. And my scalp is dry, as per as usual. I don't really put too much except for that oil on my scalp, and I haven't put any oil on my scalp in a bit, so it's fine. So that's the difference between my hair now and then. So yeah. So like I said, I thought that everything was fine within my third month. Some things I needed to correct, obviously, because of, like I said, when I braided my hair, I didn't start on freshly retied hair or hair that had been retied a couple days prior. I hadn't done that, and I should have done that. Um, I should have done that, and I didn't. So yeah, um, that was the main issue, right? Other than that, I was just happy to have my hair out, happy to see my hair, happy to be able to like touch my hair and stuff. So that was great, right? Going into the fourth one, like I said, I was having issues in the back. Decided to go ahead and cut those, thinking that would help and solve the issues for me. Of course, solve the issue because I ain't got no hair ready to deal with, right? So I I don't know what was going on. It was just like one moment I woke up and I was like, I had a thought. And my thought was, when people take out their locks or their braids, how they say that the negative emotions and stuff like that. And at the time, I was watching a lot of videos about loose natural hair, and I was trying to figure out if I even wanted this anymore, right? So I just got to a place where it was just a lot, and I started to take some of them out, which are the ones I redid. The two here, the bottom row, I think is one in this row, and well, two in this row, one over here, right? And one down here. Those are the ones I took out. Now, I was fine with taking these ones out because for some odd reason, they held the retie really well. And because of that, they were like long. They were like straight, right? And they'd be sticking out straight. And the other ones would be curly. And it was so weird looking. So I didn't like how that looked anyways. I was like, oh, those would be the ones I take out just to see how I feel about taking them out. Turned around and made the decision to just go ahead and put them back in. At one point, I had combined this one. Anyways, interruption by my husband. So I like I said, I combined them, but then I decided to just decombine them. So I got 408 locks right now in my head. With the 10 that was combined into 3 over here. I think it was like the 20. I said 24 or it's 20, 24 or 28, whatever it was back there that I took out or whatever. So yeah, 408 locks currently. And I did that and I put them back in, and then I realized you need to calm down because, girl, the thing that hit me was if I take them out, I'm not putting them back in. I'm not going through this journey again. So I made a decision. Just stick with it. Stick with it. You will be okay. Stick with it. Do not quit. Do not give up. These are things I was doing before. But everything is going to have its downside. It is going to be a negative to everything. Everything has its pros and its cons. And the things that seem like they just all good, you might really need to look at it a little deeper. You know what I mean? Because everything has its pros and its cons, you know, whether you can see it or not. Anyway, so yeah, I I was in a really rough spot at that time, because I think everything that I was going through hit me. In my videos, you guys would have heard me talking about all the stuff that was going on. my aunt passing away. I think I mentioned that in one of my videos. There's a lot of stuff going on. Lord, the timetable of the crap, right? I'm doing my hair. I think before I even started doing my hair, well, there was issues with my sister. She stopped talking to a lot of our family members, like even our other siblings, except for me. And so bad to the point where my niece had her graduation from I don't remember what grade. Lord, that's so bad. But my niece had her graduation or whatever, and it was beginning. That was in the beginning of me doing my locks. I hadn't even. No, was it locks or braids? It was the beginning. My locks were finished, but I was doing my braids at that time. It was the end of May, and only me and my husband came, and my sister. That shit hurts my feelings too. My sister and my little nephew came, and that was it, because she wasn't speaking to anyone else, and she had caused the division so much so that they didn't even want to come and cause any problems. So that was going on, and I was trying to be the peacekeeper and keep it together and all of these things. And then the stuff going on with my aunt, and she passed away, and then we had a family reunion. Was it before or after the family reunion? I'm trying to think. Yeah, it was the family reunion. But when my aunt's funeral, after her funeral, everybody came together, and I was just telling people, she's in her own world right now. She's working through some things. I didn't really give in her business. I didn't really talk about, other people had already known, because people had mentioned to me about her relationship and things of that nature. So I was really like very, very, very surface about what I said to them about her. And I said she just really is in a place where she doesn't really want to deal with a lot of people right now. And she just didn't. She didn't want to deal with a lot of people, but I didn't tell them why she didn't want to deal with a lot of people. I didn't gossip in a negative way about her. I was trying to protect her. Feelings are hurt about that still to this day. So I was trying to protect my sister. The family reunion wraps around. My niece and nephew come. Everybody's surprised that she let them go. I was so happy they came because they were able to enjoy themselves. My niece kind of was like, she was really attached to me and my husband the majority of the time, which is how she is. And my nephew, he was just living his best life, playing with his cousins and stuff. He was just living his best life. And so that day happened, and then after that, we were in the process of getting stuff together in our old place and getting packed up and stuff. And she called me one day, and I feel like she lost her mind, okay? She lost her whole ever-loving mind, okay? She lost her shit. And she basically tried to say that I couldn't be trusted. I don't know. She made it seem like I was talking really bad about her behind her back and all kind of stuff. And I was like, I didn't though. Like, where are you talking about? People asked where you were. Oh, she's at mama's house. People asked you how you were doing. She's fine. She just doesn't really want to deal with people right now. What? Like, I'm not saying, oh, she's going through all of this stuff. I'm not saying anything. I'm not even telling you guys how bad it was. You know what I mean? Because that's her business. I'm not going to do that to her. Even now, feeling like how I feel about everything, I'm not going to do that to someone. So I'm like, hold up. I was mad. And we're going to be honest. And I'm going to go deeply. I was really angry. Because from the time that my niece was born, honestly, before my niece was even born, while she was pregnant with my niece, up until even to this day, I don't work, right? So if I have money from whatever I'm doing, any projects that I've sold, blah blah blah, if I have money, she was getting the money if she needed something. I was getting EBT at one point. I gave her the last that I had on my EBT card so she could get some groceries in the house. I was doing whatever I could to help my sister out. You know what I mean? And when she did that, it kind of just hit hard, because all of this time, even with everything going on, everybody's acting the way they're acting with you because of how you're behaving yourself. And I'm still not turning my back on you, and you do that to me. It was a lot. I held my mouth when it comes to a lot of stuff that she has done wrong, because everybody fucks up, right? But then when you do that, it's kind of like, I'm an Aries, so make me mad, and on mad day, everything comes out. I'm just gonna be honest, and I try not to do that with people. So I try not to get to that place with people because I know what's gonna happen. Everything that I've been thinking and not and trying to be nice and how I say it to you is going to come out raw. So if you're doing something and I disagree with it, I will find the nicest way when I'm calm to say it. But when I'm mad, it's gonna come out exactly how I feel it, right? So there's no coating whatsoever, right? So that happened that day, and that's in the midst of trying to get everything together and move. Um, all of that happened, right? And then there's me getting everything together to move by myself practically because my husband is at work. When he comes home, he's tired. He helps a little bit, but I'm doing the majority by myself. Um, Having to go to court with this lady because of the mess that she's trying to pull, saying that we owe her and all this type of stuff when it's a lot, right? She wasn't doing her due diligence as a landlord and had us paying for stuff that she was supposed to be responsible for, because if we didn't pay for it, we would not have had it, i.e. water. It was part of the leasing agreement that rental agreement, I should say, that she would be, the one responsible for that. And we would pay her like we're supposed to, but we were responsible for it. And to the point where the water holes on the outside, they're using that, but we're paying for it. And you're not doing your due diligence as a landlord, not fixing things and things of that nature. So I'm like, who oh who? What? Girl, no. Mm-mm. And then she was confused about how much we owe her because she tried to up the rent, but she was unsure about the fees, and it was a whole mess. So we're dealing with all of that during that time. And I think at one point I had finished braiding my hair right before my aunt's funeral. So I was probably about the 15th. I was probably like the second week of June, I think it was. Because I think June 17th was when they had the family reunion, I believe. So it was a lot going on, like real close together. So then we ended up. It was a lot. It was a lot going on, and just to fast forward, right? Ended up having to go to court, like I said. Um, the judge allowed for us to stay there for a little longer so we can get stuff together before we left. Um, Coming here, didn't even know if we were going to find a place because we had to find a place quick because the other place we were scammed. Um, a whole scam out there. Um, the other place we got scammed, and then that fell through, and then we had to find something quick, so we found this place, thankfully, and we're able to get everything together to get here. So it was so much stress going on, and I was thinking about how all of this happened during my Microloc journey. And I was like, I don't like this. I don't want all of this negativity attached to my hair. Like, it's so much. But I was like, I'm not cutting my hair. So it's just like, then why am I taking out my locks? And if I take out my locks, I'm not putting them back in. So if I'm not going to put them back in, then I need to woosah and just deal with it. I need to just handle it. I need to transmute those emotions into something positive and keep it pushing. So in the midst of everything that was going on, I opened my business up. And I really put a lot of energy into building the website and finding the inventory. And I'm going to start adding my own items into the inventory soon. I just have to get myself together. I think that's what I'm gonna start doing. I think once I start pushing more of my stuff, and I'm still doing like the marketing stuff and doing like TikTok videos about the products, and putting out videos on my Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, so people can see that I actually have products on the website. Things of that nature. I think I also need to do a thing where you can kind of scroll through and see what is it called? A screen record of the website, so you can see the website. I think I'm gonna do that too. So I have so much stuff that I'm trying to push that negative energy from all the stuff that I had gone through to turn it into something that's good and something positive for myself. So yeah, I decided not to take them out. And we're here. And we're here. I did also have a moment where I was like, okay, so I need to do something. I need to do something because in the midst of me having these moments, I don't want to take them out. I don't want to go through that process, all of this stuff. So we're gonna do something because I don't like the whole idea of me starting a locking process. Um, um, doing the Microlocs and recording it and putting videos up for you guys to see, and then all of a sudden I'm not doing it anymore. I don't like that. I felt like a failure, and I was like, I'm not failing at this. This is not something we're failing at. So I gotta make my mind up. But yeah, so I'm like, I'm not failing at this thing. So what are we going to do? And I was like, okay, I can do Microloc extensions. I can do some extensions. But then you have to have the funds to buy the hair, and our money is into paying our bills and other things that have to get done. So, like, what am I going to do with my hair? And then I'm like, if I take them out, then I can't do my color, because if I do my color, what the texture of my hair is going to straighten my hair out more, because you lose some of your curls when you bleach it to the extent that I have to bleach it to get the color that I want. So I'm like, I'm thinking about all of this stuff, and I'm like, but if I do Microloc extensions, then I could just do the ends where the ends are the color, and I'll have my color, and it won't be touching my actual hair. I still could do that. You never know what's going to happen within the next month. I will update you guys when that thought process comes, and if I decide to do it, you'll know. Um, so yeah, like all of those things going on, right? Outside of all of that, right? Now, hair aspects. And I know this video is going to be way longer than my other videos. It's because I'm covering a lot of stuff. Okay, so bear with me. I might end up having to cut it and make it a 2-part video, so we'll have to see, right? So, beginning of the video, when you guys were looking at my hair and you saw all that loose hair and all of that chaos, and the fact that you couldn't even like tell they were individuals at all, like it was a lot going on, right? There were some of them, like it was so frustrating. It was so much, okay, to the point where I was kind of like, oh my god. And that's what was stressing me the most about my hair, because I'm like, I dealt with the back, but this top part is not wanting to get it right. And I'm thinking I was gonna have a problem with, like, oh, and I forgot, I did when I took them out, I did take out, what was it? I don't remember which one it was. I think it was this one. It was probably these two right here that I ended up taking out too. Or maybe it was this one and this one and this one that I ended up taking out, right? And so I'm like, I'm thinking it's going to be those on my like perimeter where my hair is soft. I'm thinking those are going to be my problem areas. No. Where was my problem area? Here. And then in the back too. But they gone, so I ain't got to worry about them no more, right? So I'm like, I didn't expect this because it's right here. My hair is thicker here. And I'm like, so why am I going through so many issues? And I'm thinking, the texturizer. The texturizer loosened that part of my hair a lot more than it should have, or I would have desired for it to have. Because I think that was the first part of my hair that I put it on, which I thought it was back here, but because this is where it's supposed to go at first, because this really is the thickest part of your hair, and then you get the other parts, and then the perimeter is last because that's where your hair is softest. I.e. sometimes also more fragile. So yeah, I thought I did it right, but I'm like, okay, doing that texturizer to my hair, loosening up the curl patterns, my hair being softer, played a huge role in the issues that I was having. They look good right now, and I'm hoping that they will hold up, looking as good as they do. When it comes to all of that, I hope they will hold up, and not go back to where they were before. I really do. I was able to do a lot to correct a lot, to fix a lot of the frizz with the what was it called, the crochet needle. I was able to fix a lot, so I'm hoping for the best with all of that. The major changes that I've noticed in my hair, one is length. Some of them have locked up really nicely. I can tell because they'll be like really small, and then they'll get like fat on the like fat on the end right here, but it's like smaller towards the root, and it's not too much of a bigger difference, but I can tell the difference. um and then I'm trying to think, some of them, this like it's soft right here, and that's one of the ones on the top, and that's also kind of loose too. um but no, I'm noticing like that is the one thing I'm noticing. I can tell where my hair is trying to lock up at, because it feels different. It doesn't feel so much like what is it called, like the little rope. I feel like this in comparison feels like a rope, right? Whereas the end, or you guys can start telling the difference between where it feels like it and where it doesn't. So the little rope, and then there's that piece right there, right? That's starting to lock up and everything. And then there's my ends. And I will say a lot of them, a lot of them, I had to pull the little, I had to comb out the ends on them because they had sealed. So my hair is doing really good in a lot of spots. It's just that one spot that I was really hyper focused on that I needed to kind of chill and pull back on in my process of thinking, so I wouldn't feel like, oh my god, you know what I mean? So I can relax, relax just a little bit, so I can calm down. So yeah, all of that good stuff. Um, and I think I said the length. I noticed the difference in the length of my hair. Um, when I started versus now, obviously there is a difference in the length of my hair. I started with less than 3 inches of hair. It wasn't even 3 inches. That's probably like two to 2.5 inches of hair when I started, measuring in different spots. So I'm like, I know there's been growth there. Trying to think right now, I'm probably like 3.5 inches in 5 months. I think that's good, especially when the fact that I can't really, Actually, I did measure the hair on the sides, the length of them. This one here is mostly loose hair. All that right there was loose. That at the end, at the root, it is interlock right here, but the rest of it is loose. Being all of this is locks and then loose at the very tip. Right there at the tip that I'm touching is loose. So, yeah. I don't know if there's anything else I need to say. I next month, actually in like another 2 weeks, I'll probably push it to like the middle of, I might push it to like 6.5 months. I'm thinking about doing my hair color, but I don't know if I want to go straight to pink or do burgundy first or purple first and then pink. So I have to figure it out. Smartest thing probably to do is to go to the burgundy first and then wait till about 8 months and then push it to do the pink. That way I'll kind of give my hair time to kind of like process everything, and kind of like bounce back in between. But that was the other reason why I made the decision, like I said before, to not take them out. Because if I had taken them out, in order for me to do the pink, like I said, my hair would have been straight, and I don't want that. I don't want like lax, loose. I don't want that. It's not the texture that I want. I wanted to loosen my curls when I did the texturizer. I did not want to relax my curls to the point where they were waves. I didn't want to do that. So I'm trying to be really smart about the health of my hair, because I do overall care about the health of my hair, and overall I do want to make sure that I pay very special attention to taking care of my hair, because I want my hair to grow. That is a big part of the reason why I decided to lock my hair. But we'll get to that in a separate video. I'm saying a lot because I got to think through everything to make sure I'm saying all the stuff I need to say. I will discuss in another video why I decided to lock my hair. That'll be its own separate thing. I'll probably try to put this one out today and then put the other one out Saturday. So I'm going to record the other one after this one, and then I'll schedule it for, to post it. But yeah, I thank you guys so much for watching my video. I hope you guys made it to this section. If you made it to this section and you want to comment below, just put a heart emoji, your choice of color, favorite color, whatever, down below. As for what I always say, if you have a lock journey, you want me to follow your lock journey, let me know down below.